So this is a very different kind of project for you. What made the material so compelling for you?
The original film, and also the original film, but the original source too.
Yeah.
The Japanese illustrated novel, the manga.
And now, have you discussed this with either Park Chan-wook or the writers of that original story?
No, Josh did. Before Josh agreed to do the film, he asked Park for his blessing, and Park gave it. Park also said, don't remake my film, make your own film.
But there's certainly some shout-outs to the original.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have to.
Which are great.
We have to give love. There's several homages to Park's film.
I mean, you've been doing your own films for so long. Is it tricky to do your own version of something that you're probably very familiar with?
No, it wasn't hard, but it's not like we had ingrained in my mind, you know, shots and stuff like that. It was really more a feel, tone, not specific shots.
Have you always kind of wanted to deal with a film in the mystery revenge genre?
Yes, I love those films. So,
Yeah.
I know it's going to be Oldboy,
Right.
but I love those films very much, that genre, or subgenre, if you want to call it that.
And, you know, what's kind of interesting about the film is that you're balancing a lot of different tones. You know, sometimes it's tragic, sometimes it's, you know, badass thriller, sometimes it's kind of over-the-top comedy. Is that a tricky thing to do when you're...
It's very tricky, but it's something I like to do. I like to mix tones on my film. I don't want to be like on one note.
Yeah.
I like to mix it up. But it's hard to do, though.
Sharlto Copley is the villain, and I'm always hearing interesting stories about this guy. Can you talk a little bit about...
What stories you heard first?
Just hear that he gets really into the role, that he's, maybe he goes a little method sometimes, that he's a wild personality generally. What was your take on working with him?
Beautiful human being, a tremendous actor, a friend of mine, and I'll work with him again in a second.
Yeah. Does he get like super into his character when he's
Yes,
shooting?
but here's the thing though. I'm glad you asked this question too. Everybody arrives at the point they gotta be a different way. Actors are not robots. And yes, he has a special way of doing things. I will grant you that.
Okay.
But the results are worth it.
Yeah, he's tremendous in the movie.
Brando was, from what I read, and what the late Bud Schulberg told me, Brando's not a walk in the park either.
Right, of course.
Francois Cop will tell you that stuff now. I mean,
Right.
A lot of times, you got to go through a lot of stuff to get what you want, but that's their process.
And for you, what was the most challenging or difficult sequence to shoot? Was it the infamous hammer beatdown where it's Brolin against 30 dudes?
No, I think it was the sequence where he's locked up in that space, because for myself and also the great DP, Sean Bobbitt, we had to come up with creative ways to shoot in this confined space, which in the film is supposed to elapse over, cover 20 years.